with the fold-back sunroof is a fantastic choice for the 2020 or newer Gladiator owners with a soft top that needs a replacement, or owners who currently have a hard top that want the flexibility that a soft top brings to the table. Now, this is a complete kit and comes with all of the hardware needed for a full swap and refresh, regardless of what top your JT currently has, while also including a design that can adapt to whatever situation that you're in with multiple configurations. The configurations within the design are a big bonus here, being different than traditionally styled tops and offering you a bit more, giving you as the driver some more options with how you want to run your top. Now, when closed, it resembles a regular soft top. However, it does have a frameless build for a fastback style, which adds a hint of sportiness to the look, but it also helps with the ability to transform this by removing the rear window and folding up the back portion to store up on top of the JT in a compact manner, so you have full airflow like you would if the top was removed. Now, the front also has a fold-back sunroof that does include a smaller frame system here and some hinges to allow for a structured and very easy way to fold the sunroof back to retain that convertible feel that you may have previously had and not have to worry about storage like you would with larger Freedom panels. Now, the front portion of the top also includes some storage compartments for some interior organization, anti-puddle support poles for water runoff to keep some structure, and the back window is tinted for some better insulation and, of course, a better style. Now, the main portion of this top is the fabric itself, made of durable 30-ounce sailcloth fabric material that holds up very well to the elements with its mildew and UV resistance. Now, the supporting components are made of a powder-coated steel material, being durable for the support of the top and a long-lasting construction. Now, there are also some smaller but very notable features with this, like molded tooth zippers with removable zipper pulls, the built-in window storage that this has, and it also comes with a case so your window doesn't get scratched up, and anti-puddle support poles, as I mentioned before, that help make this top tough and easy to handle. Now, this is a complete kit and comes in at about $1,300 as far as the price point is concerned. Now, comparing this to other solutions, this is much more than the average bikini or safari top, considering that it is a complete and more permanent solution compared to those choices that are really only for certain circumstances. Now, I will say that even though it seems like a steeper price point compared to some of those smaller solutions, it is much more affordable compared to the premium dealer price point of a soft top, and even has some features that you won't find in the Mopar option. Now, I think if you want a full swap to your current top, in addition to some very useful features for your JT, then this is a great choice to consider. Now, install is straightforward, but it does get a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter because of the assembly. This does have a lot more to the kit than what you see on the table here, so it should take about 2 hours to get the job done. Now, I do highly recommend sitting the fabric in the sun or installing this on a warm day just to allow the fabric to stretch and fit properly. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. However, at this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers here. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can get this onto your JT at home. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get to the install.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, 3mm Allen wrench, T50 torque socket, and a Phillips head socket. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a soft top on our Gladiator, so let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is remove our Freedom panels. You have to start with the driver's side because this one's overlapping the passenger. So flip your visor down, undo your 2 front latches, as well as the 2 in the rear. And then you can just lift this off and repeat on the other side. Now, right underneath of our Freedom panel, we have a T50 Torx bolt. So grab a T50 Torx socket and remove it. And do that same thing on the other side. Now we're gonna hop into the back and pop our back seats down. We've got a bolt here and here on the corner and a connector. Now we only have the connector on this side, but you have the 2 bolts on the other side as well. So push in on the black tab and pull back on your connector. Disconnect it, and then take your T50 Torx sockets remove these 2 bolts and remove the same 2 bolts on the other side as well. And now we just have these 2 bolts in the middle. Take that same T50 torque socket and remove these 2. So now I've got my buddy here to help me lift this hard top off. So we're just gonna get under it and get it out of here. So now that we have our hard top removed, I'm gonna start by assembling the frame for our soft top. I've got the driver's side here. I've got a bunch of pieces we're gonna connect, but we need to slide these brackets on first before we connect our pieces together. So we're gonna start at the front here. We're gonna have to slide our bracket on first. Line up the 3 holes with the 3 holes. And then we're going to slide in our end cap here. And then we have 3 self-tapping screws on the top and 2 on the bottom here to install. And I've got a Phillips head bit and a 1/4 inch socket that I'm using to tighten these down. Flip it over and get the 2 on the back. Then we're going to come to the other side and install our other bracket, lining up those holes again. And then we have, I'm just going to get my outer one started first. And then we can slide in our next piece. Continue installing your screws. Now flip it back over and we have a hole here that's going to secure our centerpiece. Get another screw in there and get everything lined up and then tighten that down. Now we're moving our way back to the rear half of our rail. Slide on another bracket and then slide that on to your front rail. Slide another bracket on the back here. And then back here we have another screw hole where we're going to be drilling into that center section. So grab another self-tapper and get it lined up. And then install the 3 screws for the bracket. Flip it over and get the 2 on the back. And then on the back, before we install the screws into our bracket, we need to put on our end piece here. Get that lined up, slide it in, and start installing your screws. And then we have one more right here. Next we can grab our back corner bar and slide that on. And then we have this twist knob that we're going to be threading into that hole and tightening all the way down. And then we'll get our bottom piece, slide that on. And then right here we have a hole for another self-tapping screw. So get that lined up and run that one in. And now repeat that same process for your passenger side sidebar. Next we can take our sidebar and install it. So get it lined up. Next we're going to install our filler piece. We're going to have to slide this in underneath of our brackets. Get everything lined up. And then we can start installing our knobs. Now this short one is going to go through this hole here. So just get everything lined up. Start threading that in. And then the medium one's going to go in the two front holes, and then you have two larges for the back. And now we're threading in our longer twist knobs at our back two brackets. Now at our back bottom corner, we're going to reinstall one of our factory hardtop bolts and tighten it down with a T50 torque socket. And then you can repeat that whole process on the other side. Now we can move on to assembling our soft top. The first thing we're going to do is get this inner structure mounted to our top. We've got all these buttons that we're going to latch onto our frame here. So now we're going to start on one of our corners. Slide our frame into that pocket. And then I'm going to get my first button in place so it holds. And I'm going to work on the other side. And then we'll just work our way across, buttoning all these buttons. Now on the side, we're going to tuck this flap into our rail here. And then we're going to come over right behind our pocket and connect our Velcro. And then do the same thing on the other side. So now I've gone ahead and lifted our soft top up onto the top of the Jeep. I've got the back end of it sloping down over the windshield so that we have access here to mount our bars to our side rails. So let's do that now. Now we're going to connect our two bars to this notch here. Now on the outside of here, we have a cutout for a nut. So I'm going to press that into place. And then we'll take our shoulder bolt from the other side and thread into that nut. And then do that same thing on the back one. You might have to slide this one over a little bit. And then slide it on. Put your nut in the cutout on the outside and thread your bolt from the inside. And once again, 3mm Allen wrench to tighten this down, and then you can do the same thing on the other side. Next we need to connect the straps around our roll bar here. Now we have our 2 latches. We're gonna be using these holes to secure our straps. So we're gonna come up and around, and then come back under. You might need to loosen your strap up a little bit. Hook it in there, and then pull it to tighten it. Do the same on the other side. Now we can move on to the back here. We're gonna take this bar and we're gonna hook it into this slot here. And then we're gonna grab the hook. That's gonna go underneath of our rail here. Undo the Velcro, push in on that tab. Pull it nice and tight. And then reattach your Velcro. Now do that same thing on the other side. Next we're gonna install our corner pieces. Now on these, you're gonna have these straps up and the zipper is gonna be pointed towards where the rear window is gonna be. So we're gonna pull up on our soft top and that's gonna reveal our buckles up here. So we're just gonna run our straps through the buckles. I'm just gonna leave those loose for now. And then on the bottom, we have these that are gonna go into the channel here. I'm gonna tuck one in and then pull the strap on that side almost all the way tight. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Now we're gonna open the door. We have one last little groove to tuck into our rail here. So now this is the channel that we're tucking into. So just wrap it around and fold it over until it pops into place all the way around. Next we have our rear window that we need to install. We've got these 3 straps that are going up to our buckles up top, and then we've got a zipper on each side. I'm gonna start by getting the zipper into place, pull our 2 sides together, and then we'll pull it up. And then we've got some clips for the bottom as well. Next, I'm going to loosely get my straps in place. Now we're going to come back down to the bottom and we're going to tuck this flap into this channel. I'm just going to start at one side, just hook that down and around, and then go back up and pull your tabs. Now we'll come back up top and pull our straps. And then we'll fold our top back over. We'll get it Velcroed across. So now the last thing we need to do is just tuck these flaps into our channel across the back. We have some Velcro here we're going to stick down to. Just pull both your flaps out. Tuck it into that channel. Pull your Velcro nice and tight and do the same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Trailview Fastback Soft Top with Fold-Back Sunroof for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. Thank you for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.